Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to our weekly discussion show, and my name is Rajinder Singh, and today we have in our Ilford studio Mr. Rajinder Singh, who is a working professional full-time, works for the Royal Mail and is a father of three and also a community ambassador. So let's welcome Rajinder Singh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
A warm welcome to you. So Rajinder Singh has been a community ambassador as well as working full-time professionally, working for the Royal Mail and supporting a lot of community projects. So tell us more about yourself and let us viewers know about.
Okay. Well, as you heard, my name is Rajinder Singh, and I've been involved in various aspects of community work from a very young age. I mean, even at the point of going, when I used to go to school and we used to have a choice between sports or doing something in the community, I wanted to do something in the community because I felt it was, that's part of our culture, part of our religion, part of our heritage, to help others, to, do things and help other people to progress. And so that started from there, from school. And then from there I got involved with the local Gurdwara, became a sports secretary there.
That's amazing.
And then a good friend of mine, Pritpal Singh Pogal, he got me involved in the local authority to do youth and community work. So then I started going youth centres, keeping young people out of trouble and engaging them in either sports activities or any other academic sort of activities, and it just sort of snowballed from there, So
that's brilliant. So also Rajinder Singh Ji, I've also kind of was doing a bit of research and found that you also are kind of heavily involved with the community groups, and also you, like you said, being chairman of the charity schools and governor, and again also you're more like have a lot of involvement in our local politics as well now, like I said. So where do you currently reside? So you reside in
I currently reside in the London Borough of Redbridge,
okay,
which I've recently moved to from Waltham Forest.
Right.
But I've always firmly held a belief that don't just keep your community involvement within your community, if you see what I mean. You've got to go wider, and that involves getting involved in local politics and other community groups, schools. As a governor, I've been a school governor, I've been a chair of governors, and your children and other children from your background, they are proud to see somebody like yourself being involved at that sort of level, and it's inspiring for them, knowing that I'm there and we can as well.
Of course.
And you also encourage people along the way as well.
Like you become a role model because, like you said, you're a father of three, and I'm sure your children are proud of who you are today. And also, like I said, you've been involved in a lot of community work, and also getting out there, showing your presence, being there all the time, and making sure you're being a part of it. So what does the motivation behind? How do you get motivated doing? Because like you said, you work as a full-time professional working in a Royal Mail, have a kind of Monday to Friday work. So how do you like motivate yourself?
I think the motivation comes from up above. It's that inbuilt thing about seva, as we say in Sikhi, and having that inbuilt psyche about yourself, just helping others all the time without any need or want, you don't want anything out of it. If it helps somebody, and even if it costs you something, big deal, because you're going to get tenfold back later on. So it's from Sikhi where I get inspired to help others, and I just don't stop.
That's amazing. That's really, really good.
It's as simple as that.
Like seva bhavna and being giving your time is also again a seva in a form of a seva.
And sorry to interrupt, but I think in doing so, you are the role model for other children in your community, because it tags them along. And it shows them that look, you can do something good as well as just going to school, coming home and playing games or doing whatever. There's a wider aspect to your daily life.
Absolutely.
And if you incorporate some seva into your daily life, it's quite rewarding spiritually.
It
makes you a good moral upstanding person.
That's brilliant. So, are your children involved in the community projects? And
they have been involved from the early stages. I still am involved with a local community organisation, charity organisation.
Okay.
And I feel they are what they are today because of their involvement in that and my involvement in that.
Right.
You know, I'm a chairperson there, but initially, you know, I used to volunteer there, and you know, they've learnt to be well-rounded individuals because they've learnt so many different skills, you know, which has made them well-rounded individuals today.
Absolutely.
You know, they love it. They still look back and they remember the good days when, you know, it wasn't just about school and home. It was about doing some of the extracurricular activity, you know, be it dance, be it music,
Sure.
you know, be it learning a first aid skill,
Bilkul.
whatever, or just engaging with other youngsters in their community, you know, knowing that there are other kids around, because normally you just see kids at school, you go home and that's it. You know, you won't see anybody else.
So apart from the education, say, when a kid's growing up, and again, all the parents, again, they focus more on educating the child, making sure they're going to school, you know, doing their homework in time, and what difference will it actually make if the kids are involved in doing community projects, involved in the community? So how, I mean, in what way their confidence kind of builds, like?
Okay. Well, as I explained to my daughter, had it not been for me being involved in the community, that might not have opened up as many doors as it did.
Anji.
You know, because you make contacts,
Bilkul.
you make friends, and say you might have a need for something, or you might need to find out some information. You know, you can tap into any one of these people and say, look, you know, my daughter wants to go into, you know, this field. Is there any way you can help? And they say, yeah, sure,
Right.
we can, you know. And that's through politics that I got that sort of link, and, you know, my daughter sort of got involved and got where she is today. It's a stepping stone, you know, it's a start.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't get that start by just keeping your kids at home,
Of course.
you know, educating them and saying, yeah, this is the route to your future. You know, you gotta widen your circle. You gotta make more friends, make contacts.
Sure.
It's good for the parents. It's good
Yes.
for the children.
Absolutely, and it's more of a, you know, it's one of the values of doing voluntary work, which is again a selfless service, which again is one of the points that our Gurujis always mentioned, to have that one of the qualities.
Yeah.
It's really inspiring to have you and have you being watched with all the viewers, and again also all the community members, and again community parents should also make sure ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ in the in doing seva, or you know doing more for community work.
Yeah.
So also, like you said, you've been also involved in charity works. So what forms of charities that you've been supporting?
Well, this charity organisation, you know, we started off in Leighton, branched out to Redbridge,
Anji.
and initially we started out with a lot of young people,
Right.
but then it sort of got involved with the elderly as well,
Right.
and advice and stuff like that. We felt there was a gap,
Right.
you know, in local authorities that couldn't sort of meet those needs.
Anji.
And with the help of, you know, all the volunteers that we had, it really helped, and it really enhanced people's lives,
Right.
because they felt they had somewhere to come to, you know, somewhere to go for advice, somewhere to go away on trips with, and things like that. You know, initially it was young people, now it's elderly, but I'd like to see the focus shift a little bit back to young people again, because I feel that's where we're losing our focus a little bit. And
Yes.
that's why you hear a lot of problems with young children, and they're going into drugs and crime and things like that, or they're easily influenced because there's nowhere for them to go. There's no youth centres as such.
Absolutely.
There's no community centres open for them. There's no focus on them, you know.
Yes.
We've lost that touch with them.
So even though apart from doing their day-to-day, you know, jobs, saying example, studying, you know, and again they need to kind of focus on chahiye ki kuch na kuch community which involve on, like take the Bhangra classes, or do some you know, or probably join the Gatka team, or do something which can actually keep our community together and alive as well in the next generation, and so as well. Because ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਅੱਜਕੱਲ time ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ, and then even parents are busy, and then their kids are busy, and then it's all going in the all directions.
ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹੀ ਕਹੂੰਗਾ ਭਾਈ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਟੇਕ ਟਾਈਮ ਆਊਟ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਾਅਦ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੂਗਾ
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ
ਬਾਅਦ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਲ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਥੋੜਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਚ ਆਫਟਰਵਰਡਸ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹੋਗੇ ਵੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਚੰਗਾ ਬਣਿਆ ਇੰਨਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਉਹਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਾਂ ਇਕੱਲਾ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਵੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਤਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੰਦਾ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਫੁੱਲਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਹੋਏ it doesn't have to be community center, can be schools, ਉੱਥੇ volunteer ਕਰ ਲਓ, can be politics, can be anything. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪੋਲਿਟਿਕਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨੇਬਰਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਨੇਬਰ ਦੇ ਕੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨੀਡਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਯੰਗ ਕਪਲਸ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਬੱਚੇ ਆ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੈਲਪ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਐਲਡਰਲੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਆਲ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਐਸਪੈਕਟਸ ਇਟ ਕਵਰਸ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ
ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਪੋਲਿਟਿਕਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਈਅਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੈਡ ਬ੍ਰਿਜ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਗੋਇੰਗ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਅਪਲਾਈਂਗ ਸੋ what kind of change or what kind of issues do you think hale jeri London which or probably jeri ajkal chaldi pai hai what is the common kind of issue do you normally see ki tanu lagda ki ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ counselor je select honge of course we'll all support you by all means what is the kind of work that you like to bring up in the community or in the borough?
I'd like to see a lot more community cohesion, togetherness, because end of the day ਸਾਡਾ ਘਰ ਆ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਘਰ ਆ
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਜੀ
ਨਹੀਂ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਗੋਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਆ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਮੁਲਕ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਘਰ ਬਣਾਏ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਂਝੇ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ
I want to bring more of that togetherness through whatever means possible through working together, socializing together, networking together, whatever, because it's our home.
It's more, yes. So making sure other communities knows Sikhism as well, and again Sikhism knows about, say, Catholic or or knows about even Islam. Any community, like they know, they're kind of. End of the day, we all kind of have the same means.
Yeah, a better understanding of each other's backgrounds and cultures and religions no one is more predominant than the other have mutual respect for each other and that makes for a better living environment
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ also ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੋਲਿਟਿਕਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਰਸੈਂਟੇਜ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ compared to other communities it's very very less ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ youth ਹੈਗੇ ਹੈ all the youth if you're over 21 you can kind of get into politics you can kind of become a councillor find out more information about it it's not actually something which is a very kind of it's all about knowledge ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੌਲੀ knowledge ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ especially should get involved in the community as well so that they can actually bring some improvisation like Rajinder Singh ji is a full-time working professional and again he does a lot to the community as well as you manage family so what kind of challenges do you might face sometimes where you kind of have to give more time to the community
the greatest challenge is from home trust me right because children would demand your time unless you take them with you right your family will demand your wife or your parents will demand your time right but you need to show them engage them take them along with you my mum likes getting involved in community aspect of things she likes doing things for charity and stuff and I draw inspiration from that as well and I always took my kids along and they were fairly young then so they were okay there's no sort of obstacles there but I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV for quite some time now. It's a luxury to watch it. I draw more satisfaction from having done something I've fulfilled my day if I've helped somebody.
Absolutely.
If I've enhanced somebody's life or either through giving them advice or even spending time with them, talking to them, getting to know them and them getting to know me. That's that. You're going to have obstacles in life, but if you focus and you're determined to do what you want to do it can happen
bilkul absolutely it's a brilliant message and
I mean I'm just taking an example from when I became a school governor My daughter was facing a few problems at school. There was an opening for a school governor, and even the head teacher wanted a good mixed board of governors.
Right.
So she asked me to get involved. I was very reluctant at first because it was like, oh, where am I going to get the time? Where am I going to do this? But we managed and we did well. My daughter was proud that dad was involved. Everyone,
amazing.
Even the head teacher started, taking more of an interest in education and, what she was getting up to. So it has many, many benefits. You as a parent being involved in your community, in your schools, in your gurdwaras, whatever religious places or community organizations, your children will reap the benefits, and so will you.
Absolutely.
So will you.
बिल्कुल. So यही message हैगा कि mainly make sure that you're making sure you're spending more time with your children, making sure keep a tab on them, again, not keeping them tab too much as well as, and again
keep a tab on them, don't give them a tablet. That's the
absolutely. Don't give them so yeah, that's a yes. So coming back to the message that you would like to give to the viewers, that you want to what are the kind of tips that you like to give to the parents, as well as ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ? So do you, it's like you said, you've been involved in charity and you've been school governor. So if they want to kind of get in touch with you, and if they want to get involved, what's the steps to do?
Approach your schools, approach your community organizations, approach your local political party, whichever you have an interest in, and just say, look, I want to volunteer, I want to help, I want to get engaged, and start from there, but you need to put yourself out there. No one's going to come knocking at your door, right? You need to put yourself out there, and encourage your kids as well, because like I said, the benefits are greater than the work that you put in, but definitely do not think life is all about work, school and home and that's it, and just staring in front of tablets or playing PS4 and things like that.
Absolutely.
Although you do engage with different people through these media devices, but nothing's as good as face to face.
Absolutely.
Nothing's as good as that.
No, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Now I do also like to add, like, I remember when I was a child, I used to go to the Gurdwara and do a lot of seva, do a lot of langar seva, and then that's how I made a lot of friends in the Gurdwara, and that's how I came to know a lot of people, and I'm still in touch with them. It's been more than 20 years. Now the motivation that you get now, even that now, if you do some kind of a work, you don't have any kind of ego inside you.
No.
Where you're saying, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? But it just looks like that you're actually just doing a seva. So that makes you
comes
so
naturally.
Much humble bana denda hai. So it's really good to get involved. Children get involved in community, in gurdwaras. Also, Ajkal ta university which they have these Sikh community groups as well. Make sure your child is actually being registered, and again learn something about Sikhi. That's what I think that's what
Sikhi has a lot of good core values. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Sikh, but generally people look at Sikhs and they think, that's a good set of people there, that's a good religion, or they have good values, a good culture.
Absolutely.
Just for example, yesterday I was at Nagar Kirtan, Sunday, Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Nagar Kirtan in Southall, and people could not believe, still I find it hard to believe, people could not believe we're giving out free food and drink at no cost.
Absolutely.
And that was never going to finish. More and more people came, more and more food was provided, and people find that great, and it's crazy, in this day and age, that people put their hands in their pockets, spend money for other people.
True.
Many people, not many cultures and religions or races will do that. They just look within their own.
Anji, bilkul. Jada hum ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ with the like you said, langar, again it's a more like a free food, and a lot of people don't believe that. They say, oh really, is that? So I think whenever we see any persons on the roads, or who is like homeless, or we should educate them, saying you can go to your local gurdwaras.
Yes.
Doors are always open for all the communities. You can have a nice hot meal in this cold weather, and that's how you can spread knowledge as well. It's not only just basically giving them or just ignoring them. You can kind of invite them and keep your arms wide open, saying, you know, you guys are always welcome. And like I said, Sikhs are the only community who does kind of provide free, I mean, langar jidda apne Guru Maharaj.
The only one I know of. I don't know of
Absolutely.
any others really.
Yes.
You know, and it raises the profile of Sikhs in the community. And you know, I don't think you can ever have enough Sikhs involved, male, females, whatever. There's no distinguishing, you know, there's no discrimination there.
Anji.
You know, so please do get involved any way you can, and it raises our profile and it shows us that we are a force. You know, we are a number to be reckoned with.
Definitely.
You know,
definitely
make a difference.
Absolutely. So Rajinder Singh ji, like I would like to request all the viewers as well. So next year, please watch out for Rajinder Singh. We'll be actually kind of signing up for the councillor, and again also would be.
Don't make too many promises.
You might, you never know. You might see him on the door knocking with the, doing the leafleting. You know, please have good kind of course. I'm going to be fully supporting you.
Thank you.
And also, I request all our viewers to kind of support our community. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰੀਏ, involve ਹੋਈਏ. Let's go out and vote as well. Keep an eye on it. And one last final.
That's a very key point you raised there. Sorry to interrupt.
Sure, no.
If you don't go out and vote, you won't be able to make a difference. It's very well sitting at home and, you know, ani hoya, oni hoya, akado tikana, okado tikana. If you don't go out and vote, if you don't get involved with your councillors and don't canvass them or don't complain to them, nothing will get done. You know?
Absolutely. So Hanji, Rajinder Singh ji, though, we were also discussing about your work. Like you said, you work full time as a professional working in Royal Mail. So what are the things that you've been involved with the community events at your work? Tell us something more about it.
Well, I've been with Royal Mail for 34 years now.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I think I'm trying to think if it's about 10 years ago, but it stuck with me ever since. What we did was we got all the different communities and cultures together. We did like a week-long event where everybody showcased their country, their religion or their culture, or all three, you know, through either music, through literature, through food, and it culminated in a sort of Saturday event where families of employees came together and people got to know a bit more about their colleagues than just, oh, he's Rajinder Singh and he's a Singh and that's it. We don't know nothing else, you know. So that really brought a lot of people together, because food will, dance will, literature will, you know, anything you can showcase about yourself, and it'll raise your profile as well. So you know, again, I would urge, if you don't do that in your workplace already, do it. You know, speak to your industrial relations person or whoever it is you need to speak to at work. Speak to them and say, look, can we bring work people together? Can we promote better understanding between the employees, you know, because it really helps for a better working environment, you know. So it's not just work home then, you know, you enjoy going to work because you know a little bit more about each other. Absolutely.
And probably raise some funds for the charity.
Yes,
local charity, making sure it's just not charities that we support the international, but we do have a lot of charities in our own community as well, and you can actually थोड़ा लाहा ले सकते हैं ਅਸੀਂ अपने from our work as well, and they should know what our Sikh community charities are doing as well. And that's how we can kind of spread our knowledge. That's really brilliant. So thank you very much, Rajinder Singh ji, to take your time and coming to the studio. It was
been a pleasure.
It's been amazing. Likewise, it's been an amazing pleasure. And if anybody would like to get involved in our weekly discussion show, I would all you got to do is you got to email us at ilford@sikhchannel.tv. Until that, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.